Next time I'm
Recording is on.
Welcome to the May 13th, 1500 UTC DXdao weekly meeting, which is going to be about recaps of what DXdao has been doing in the different teams and products over the last couple of weeks. Last week, as regularly now, we had a community call on Discord, which was awesome, and it actually happened to be the 1-year anniversary of the launch of the DXD token. So anyone in attendance had the ability to claim a special POAP, and there is likely going to be another POAP coming for the greater audience of everyone that was holding DXD in its wallet or in a LP, either LPing DXD as well. So on that actual date. So look out for that. Today we will go through the products and then a few of the different squads with updates. This is a bit of a show, less of an interactive community call, but we will kick it off with Omen. So if Geronimo here, see if you want to give an update on what's been going on with Omen the last couple weeks.
Yeah, so we are making great progress on the liquidity rewards feature, which allows the guild to reward great markets with Omen tokens. We're using the swapper liquidity rewards contracts, which needed to be modified because we have a very specialized AMM contract on the Omen protocol. And we are finished with the modifications. We actually used the fact that we needed to modify the liquidity rewards contract. We used the time to actually include another feature which allows the guild to top up rewards. So if there is actually an Omen market which is getting traction with liquidity, the guild is able to be dynamic and actually reward the popular Omen markets with more Omen tokens if necessary. Right. There is one thing we could do to improve the liquidity rewards contracts, our modified one, and Kane is currently looking into how to improve it in terms of gas efficiency right now. And once that is concluded, we should start the audit on the liquidity rewards contracts. Right. This doesn't stop us to actually implement the governance dashboard for the guilds, which means we will start with the locking and unlocking of Omen tokens into the Omen guilds. And once that is done, a proposal list and a proposal detail view. So we are heads down on actually getting the guilds feature into the Omen front end, and then actually combine the guild system with the liquidity rewards contracts. Right. Any questions on that? At the same time, we saw that the DXdao team proposed a liquidity rewards program for SushiSwap on XDAI, and we actually used the signal to come up with a proposal made by Chris Powers and Sky to make a joint rewards program for Omen. And yeah, I think that is something which needs some work, but it looks like the DXdao team is signaling positive about a joint rewards program. And I actually think we could realize that also with the release of the Omen Guild and the liquidity rewards feature. I think that's it.
Cool. Yeah, you didn't get any comments. Yeah, is there an expected timing that we have for when, like, well, obviously the guild and things have to come out and maybe the token, but could we do liquidity mining prior to that, or do we want to? I guess it'd be more of a manual process, similar to how Claros had done it in the past. Like it's we can do it at any time, right? It's just not ideally we do it through the system that we're creating, right?
Right. Like
Just to manage
I'm not
time.
sure if there's like a rush needed to do at least like the Omen joint liquidity rewards program. I think we should wait for the guild and the liquidity rewards features to be released, because it's just like a way better user experience. And based on Chris' proposal specifically for Omen, I think there's an opportunity to include the stake community or the DXdao community for an Omen airdrop. And as like a return from the DXdao community, or like the Echo Fund, the guild would receive stake tokens, which should only be used for like rewarding liquidity providers on Omen. Right, which would be like an important decentralization improvement, like since Genesis for the guild, because we would drop like Omen tokens to like a bigger number of addresses on DXdao, and hopefully we will catch some like future governors who are locking Omen tokens into the guild to decide for like stake rewards for Omen markets. About like specifically releases, we have several contracts which need to be audited, so there's like a natural delay for like doing a release. The Omen Guild system is a new governance system. It's not a fork from something, so we build it from scratch, which means it needs to be tested, it needs to be played around, and only then, once we actually have a feeling that the system is is releasable or is actually usable, only then we will do like an official release and deployment. But I would expect to have a playground potentially in 2 to 4 weeks. So there will be like a test Omen version with the guilds functional and with the liquidity rewards functional.
Great, that'll be awesome. Cool, thanks, Geronimo. Martin, lost in the foggy forest.
Yeah.
Can you give please an update on Mesa?
Yeah, on Mesa, we work on different stuff. Yeah, we still fitting things together, but now it looks like the fog is somehow going away. That's where we are. And Adam, luckily for us, can stay. Adam is he did work on the subgraph and also on the interface. He shifted now his work more on the interface, and he stays with us for this month. And this is good news, because first he was thinking that he will stop working for us at the start of this month, and yeah, and he's a very important worker for my team, I guess. And also somehow, and this is more good news for the team, I think now we have like crisis because of dropouts, but now we are like move past this, and I think the team speed has very much improved right now. And we're still looking for devs, of course, and I had at the start of the week, I had a meeting with the dev shop, but somehow, they don't have capacity, most of them. They only have like junior devs, and that's not what we need. But I think I will go try to find some devs. Yeah, I will go try to add new members, because it would be nice to have something as long as Adam is still working on the code, because then it's more easy to get somebody involved into it. Smart contract wise, we are like finished. Nico is still tidying things up, but there's only one contract left. And I had a call with him today, and he told me that he wants to finish it until tomorrow, and then we can go into review. And what else? Yeah, I did look at, because we are using one of our sale mechanism is the same as Gnosis auction. And what's interesting there, somehow I was quite unsure if it's okay to go our DXdao first strategy. But if you look closer, last few days, the level has been so high. So a bit on mainnet, on this sale mechanism would be around 300 bucks. And then you don't know if you get any token at the end. So if you look at the sale, there was one sale ongoing, and then you did see that the sale, coincidentally, the sale was with a very high gas period, and then if this happens, then nobody will buy your token. That's what I did see on mainnet, and in a way, we are waiting for seeing Gnosis auction, how it works on DXdao, because we think we will see a different pattern there of bidding and withdrawing and reset bids and so. But until now, there was thinking one project was doing one sale, but then they postponed it again. So it's more on the project side, but it would be interesting to see how it works on other networks. What's left? Yeah, that's where we are. So it's interesting to see how that lately there are at my knowledge, there are not popping up any new IDO platforms. I didn't see any. What's quite interesting somehow, because at the start of the year, there are many different of these projects popping up, but now it looks like somehow the announcement cooled down, and yeah, that's interesting. And others, I guess, struggle too, because of the same reason, because it's very difficult to find resources for making projects. And yeah, any questions? Yeah, so I think that's it.
No questions?
Just, it is interesting that there aren't any other ones that have been popping up lately, because there has been a lot of activity, but I don't know if that's, like you said, devs, it's probably gas too. Like you can't really launch this.
I don't know the reason. I did always look a little bit around and what's going on in this space, and yeah, it's
Farming is more
strange.
fun.
Also, I think also I have to relook it. I did look at some of them, and now it would be interesting to see how they perform and what they're doing. I think most important for us would be what Bouncer did, because they had like a very open platform, and then they are working on a new version, and yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Martin. We can move to Swapper. Zet, would you like to give an update?
Yeah, for sure. So Swapper is in the last steps of doing the audit, or the last audit of the farming contract. And sorry, it's blowing a little bit. Sorry, guys, let me just get to somewhere where it's not blowing. Yeah, so we're in the last steps of doing audits of the farming. We are basically ready for the release. Wherever I go with this noise. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I can address the
Yeah.
audit stuff while you're finding a quiet spot. So yeah, I think last week we were saying we'd hope that it'd be ready by the end of this week, but we ended up coming to the conclusion to run one more full audit on the smart contracts to make sure that we're confident in their security, and those are going out today. I don't have a final date on when those will be ready, but we're hoping early next week that'll come back, and we'll be running some integration tests, and then it should be good to go. I think the front end, it was looking great after the test, so I think the DApp is pretty much ready, and we're just waiting on these final kind of audit results and a set of tests. So yeah, other than that, I don't know, Zed, are you?
Yeah, I think you basically said it. We started the talks about Swapper token. I think it's in the works. We're already preparing the technicals for it too. So we are preparing a lot of stuff, and especially now Arbitrum came out with a date where developers can actually play with the mainnet, which is the 28th of May, which gives us a rough date where we can actually start launching Swapper on Arbitrum. So I think we're preparing a lot for that too. So both Swapper Beta V1 is a big release, and Swapper on Arbitrum will be like our focus.
Yeah, and we're actually breaking daily volume all-time highs, I think, the last couple of days, every day. So that's also great to see that the liquidity provision from the DXdao into Swapper and XDAI is a big success already, and it's a clear signal that there's no reason why the DXdao shouldn't push a little bit more liquidity into Swapper.
Yeah, over 1,200 transactions on Swapper XDAI in the last 24 hours. Pretty cool. It's also now listed on CoinGecko and also linked to from BlockScout and all of the token pages on BlockScout.
And the same proposal Chris and Sky made for XDAI. They made a proposal for Swapper too, to get that liquidity from XDAI team. I think we'll follow that. Hopefully, we get that too.
Yeah. Well, the unique thing is those proposals are really aimed at the XDAI community, not so much the XDAI team, but ideally the XDAI community, who's everyone interested in that ecosystem, will see the value of what DXdao is bringing to and has brought to XDAI, and how it can help the XDAI ecosystem flourish, which then benefits obviously stakeholders, but then additionally makes it an environment where other projects and dApps can come, because there's lots of capital, lots of liquidity, ease of token, multiple tokens and things, and that should help Omen as well, I think, and Omen should hopefully attract people as well. So yeah, that's the idea. RF Noob was asking if we had any discussions with HoneySwap people, and in general, so the One Hive community, which is pretty decentralized, HoneySwap is one of their many products. There's been a lot of interaction in some of DXDAO's channels, and then also in One Hive's channels, of community members from both sides, interacting with other parties, and actually the products, the products that both teams are working on are, play off of each other, and in an open source world can be used, different features and different things can be used by the other teams and stuff. And so Swapper has a unique feature with its echo routing that if you come to Swapper, you can get the best price for any token on XDAI, because swapper can send your transaction to HoneySwap if the price is better there. So it's actually a pretty valuable tool that also in theory helps, in that case, helps HoneySwap as well by sending users and volume to HoneySwap. So we can do we can do more with One Hive community in general, which we can continue those discussions. At the same time, there's a little bit of competition there, but that's always good. But yeah.
Yeah, I think communication channels are building. It's a little bit ad hoc. Like I have a couple like anecdotes from the past week. Like I think Zet and I both joined a community called that One Hive had on. It was on Saturday, last Saturday. Kind of it was their response to what was happening with the sushi incentives and kind of how they were feeling about that. And I think we've opened up some dialogue with them about that, and also with the DXdao team. So I think a lot of progress is being made there. I mean, Sky, you could probably talk to that, or we already covered that, I'm not sure. But I also just had a great call with Green Hornet, who's involved, one of the seeds involved in the Agave project. So that's sort of like loosely affiliated with HoneySwap and the like One Hive kind of family. I don't think there's like direct like links, but they're collaborative. And I think, I was pretty bullish after that call. Actually, I don't want to say anything because there's all these ideas right now, but I think there's lots of opportunities for collaboration between DXdao and Agave and the other One Hive projects as well.
Great. So now we would move to governance product, like things like DXvote and maybe issues related to Alchemy. Augusto, is there any updates that you'd like to give?
Yes, on that side, we got the smart contracts finally audited and reviewed. Like we had a very good call this Tuesday with the rest of the team and with Phil, who was the auditor of the wallet scheme and permission registry smart contracts. It all went pretty well. We are going to do a final audit of the smart contract changes. I've been working adapting DXvote to be deployed on Arbitrum, which I confirmed that it worked locally. I didn't do any deployment because now they are creating another testnet. So tomorrow I'm going to deploy also on Arbitrum, and we are going to be using DXvote on Arbitrum and Rinkeby at the same time with the same smart contracts till Arbitrum becomes live on mainnet, kind of to start getting ready for it. That's it. The good thing is that the smart contracts works is almost done. We are going to do a second audit, which is awesome to increase our assurance that there is no security issues on the smart contract that we are going to be using for a long time, because this smart contract, the idea is to use it for the rest of the year till we get the next version of DXvote with the major changes live. So that's it. A lot of work on the dApp, and I'm going to be sharing the updated dApp to start being used by the voters very soon, like in tomorrow or today.
Awesome. So I think the more people that test it, because if this is the system that DXdao in certain places is gonna be using for governance, obviously all of these governance systems are a learning process. So the earlier and more people that test it, like then when it becomes live, you'll already know exactly how to use it, and you've maybe even given feedback on how to improve it, or fix anything that's not working, and like intuitive logic of using and stuff. Like the more people that test it, hopefully everyone can, maybe we can try to do a majority vote or try to get everyone to break it, I guess. So that's cool. Thanks, Augusto. So I guess we won't touch on anything related to Alchemy unless anyone has any specific questions. There was a specific kind of governance issue that was solved. Pretty much is that DXdao base on XDAI, right? You have to currently use XGen, which is a specific XGen token that's on XDAI chain, and that's what you use for staking. So there's a bridge that was created by DAOstack, the XGen bridge, which is different than the Omni bridge, which people have been using to move Gen token back and forth between mainnet and XDAI chain. It's important to note that because of some changes with how that bridge is working, if you move your XGen back across the bridge to mainnet, there is a step that is common on the XDAI bridge and the Omni bridge where you have to claim it on mainnet. So if you move it across the bridge, you have to basically go to a certain bridge monitoring page in order to claim your gen on mainnet. So don't think that it's lost. And if you have any questions, reach out in Keybase in a DXdao channel, and you can make sure that you have that link. And yeah, so then that's all governance product. We should move now to governance squad and the governance call that we've had the couple weeks. Chris, if you want to, last couple weeks, if you want to give an update on that, that'd be great.
I found another white room to hide in. So governance call yesterday had a bunch of different proposals, from like rep boost to contributor payouts to fund transfers, from Treasury authorization to also moving funds into XDAI. We actually just completed that this morning. So it was a 950K Treasury authorization or 950K DAI that was deposited back into DXdao, and then I think 375,000 of USDC and XDAI that was deposited into XDAI base. We had some exciting majority vote proposals over the last 2 weeks, last 2 weekends. 2 weekends ago it was I think the farming test, and we were able to get majority votes on both of those. And then we had a marathon majority vote over past weekend to get a bunch of swapper liquidity deposits in. I think it was like $1.3 million across 8 proposals. And if you voted on that, I think there were like 22 addresses that voted on almost all of those 8 proposals. Make sure you go back and redeem your rep from those proposals, because it's actually like locked into those proposals itself. The DX Ventures Opus investment grant proposal is up. We talked a little about that yesterday, and there's kind of the last couple of weeks. And so I think that's will be voted on for 3.5 days, and that's actually up on XDAI. The DXD buyback signal proposal has passed on XDAI and should presumably pass this evening on mainnet, and then after that we'd be able to start placing any trades that fell under the buyback program outlined in that proposal. Consensus seemed to be on the call yesterday and the last couple weeks that we should first do that on XDAI, given that it can move quicker and we don't need to have the new multi-call scheme installed. So hopefully we can move forward that shortly, and I think that's a really important initiative that we've been talking about and building for a long time. And there's a lot of cool things that DXdao has been, I think, developing there on the kind of driving DAOs forward in a lot of ways. Discussion yesterday on rep syncs, how we kind of make sure we get the right amount of mainnet rep to contributors that have earned it. So since we've been switching worker payouts and proposals to XDAI, that's really helped on our gas costs, but it means that contributors have not earned their mainnet rep awards. So we're trying to figure out a good solution to that. And in the short term, it might be that individuals will just like batch a couple different of their rep awards together. So they're doing it once every 3 months, but long term, talking with Nylon and Augusto about how to create like a multiple rep distribution system that is also very secure. And then that was it from governance squad. I don't know if like we had some Treasury stuff and then some contributor stuff. I don't know if Dave or Melanie have anything to add.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Unless anyone has any questions. So I've included Dave, so Treasury area on this call now. Chris touched a little bit on Treasury management and accounting, but Dave, who has a live proposal, I think, to become a mostly full-time worker to really focus on treasury and accounting, like aspects of DXdao. You guys look like you froze. Sorry. That's why I paused. Dave, I don't know if you wanted to get, if there was anything high level that you wanted to give an update out related to Treasury. If not, we can move on.
I mean, I think Chris pretty much covered it. Right now, we're working on the Treasury diversification proposal, and like the first, let's say, official one went through today. So we had some ETH still in the multi-sig that was already used last week to buy some USDC, and today we got roughly 1 million in DAI, and we also have some other proposals actually live on mainnet. One which is about to approach the 2-day period in a couple of hours. However, I don't have any rep on mainnet yet, so I can't vote on that. And I believe the next one is already submitted as well for swapping into synthetic US dollar and USDT. And then the other thing is I was starting to work on the yielding stuff. So of course we want to put some of our assets, particularly stable coins, into some yielding protocols. And well, I'm kind of preparing the distribution on that and the first protocols to use. But I believe that anyway relies on the multi-core installation being done, which is going to take another while for us even to be able to stake directly with DXdao funds. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it from me.
Great. And just one question that people might be wondering. So the Treasury Diversification V2 proposal, signal proposals, which passed on XDAI and mainnet, outline a plan for going forward, but those proposals don't really have a timing. Like it had the only timing thing in there is like, there can only be a new one like every maybe 2 days. And so there's always like the opportunity for that to extend longer. This has benefited DXdao because ETH has gone up quite a bit, but obviously it's moving around a lot. Is the general plan to continue to kind of as rapidly as possible, say every 2 days, do another proposal for Treasury diversification to get this next set of the program done within like a tighter time frame? Or is there any plan around timing for how long it will take to execute that program?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. The approach I was taking right now was to stay in accordance with what the original signal proposal said, right? What you said. So no more than 250 ETH every 2 days. And the rough plan was to do 2 a week, right? So it would be, we're not quite hitting the limit on the 250 ETH every 2 days, but 2 a day. And the idea behind that was also the motivation of the high Ether price, right? So I think, we were at an all-time high recently. And so setting some Ether at all-time high is always good, right? And so the idea was to fill it as soon as possible by doing twice a week, 250 ETH, and then eventually revisiting if we want to do another proposal to diversify more or what we want to do then, yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Nylon, how's it going? Would you like to give an update on what happened on the DXBiz calls?
Yes. So we started with an introduction to HATS, where the proposal is, I guess the DAO Talk post is live and kind of waiting for feedback on like a collaboration. We discussed some open market competition. In general, like the DXdao status and some of the issues that were already mentioned here, and the swapper work pool. That's it, basically. And yeah, I don't know. Any questions?
Yeah, that's great. So there, just on terms of the Omen market sourcing competition, that the details of that competition were defined, and there is on XDAI, there is a live proposal, which is it's what creates the competition. So if this proposal passes, it allocates a certain amount of DAI and a certain amount of rep to this competition, which then kicks off the competition scheme. So as this is being voted on, and if it passes, it's it's a wider, increased kind of version of the first competition, with higher amounts of awards and things. One idea is to use this as really like ideally marketing, right? So money and marketing to get it out there and into the community, to get people that haven't been aware of, Omen, that aren't aware of all the new updates with it, having the tight integration on DXdao, being able to use your mainnet wallet, but just getting people more aware of Omen. Obviously we have, DXdao more behind it as well, if they're going to give some rewards, but really use this competition as a way to ideally draw in the best prediction market people in the ecosystem to pay attention, to create markets, win awards, earn rep, so that they can start participating in DXdao and Omen market competition, or Omen initiatives. And so that's kind of some of the goals of the competition. There's a DAO Talk thread about it, and then there's a live proposal to kick the competition off. And so let's try to get as many people aware of this as possible. I think in the thread we announced, like, an ideal goal would be to have at least 100 different markets submitted, ideally 200 or more from the community, in order to like get the best of the best. And then really it's up to the voters to like really think about of those markets, which ones will be and are the best that will be successful for users and LPs on Omen. And really think like a bigger money marketing push, and getting maybe some influencers to tweet about this, but really drawing in the prediction market community is the goal here. So yeah, that's an update there. Thanks, Nylon. So lastly, we move to marketing communications. Keenan, if you want to just give a high level update on all of the interesting things happening in the marketing communications world.
Yeah. Can you hear me? I think my sound cut out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like you mentioned at the start, we had the second community call, which went excellently, and we had a surprise for call attendees and for DXD holders, which we're looking to announce in the next couple of days. I'm not sure if Chris mentioned it. It's kind of a governance thing, but the Discord rep boost proposal had passed, and we invited many of our Discord community members to initiate a rep boost on DXdao, and we've seen quite a few so far, which has been awesome to see. I had the opportunity to speak with PublishOX about DXdao and had a brief interview. You can find that in the general channel on Keybase and Discord. And also me and Chris published the month in review for April. I think this was kind of mentioned elsewhere, but there's been increasing discussions with the DXdao team, and we've been collaborating a bit more on social media, which has been awesome. There was integration of Swapper on DeFi Llama, BlockScout, and CoinGecko, I think with some help from Nathan. And we're preparing for the potential for DeFi Pulse and CoinMarketCap. On the recruiting side, PositionCo has formally begun the search for the senior marketing lead. And myself, I'm onboarding Caden, who has a background in marketing and content creation, and Kyle, who has a background in marketing and design, which is phenomenal, and we need all the help we can get. We're preparing content for the buyback, which is slated to pass today, and the Swapper beta, which is obviously expected in the next week or so. There's also been discussions on formalizing a marketing budget and squad multi-sig, so we can move a bit faster on some of these marketing opportunities. And we're also preparing for representation at OX Hack, of which John said he's comfortable with speaking, and we should have a bit of formalization on that in the next couple of days. I think that's the main stuff for my end.
Sweet. So,
awesome. Can I just add one? Yeah, because you said the Discord rep boost, which I think is really good. And actually, just as an update, DXdao just passed 1 million rep with the latest Discord rep boost. So it's good to see the rep distribution on XDAO growing, not just from rep boost like that, but also from people syncing their mainnet reps and also just contributors earning that.
Awesome. Just like an ending note, like I think for people in the DXdao community or someone outside that's watching this this presentation or meeting, you start to get a sense of the many different things that DXdao is doing, like multiple products, which is very rare for like teams to do. Most teams have just one single product, like so many different initiatives around each of those products. Each product has its own governance, its own marketing, its own business opportunities. And so, hopefully this video, if people are watching it, gives a idea of all the exciting things that are happening in the DXdao community. And, whether it's the buyback or treasury management or partnerships and initiatives, like hopefully this can spread around and attract outsiders to come into this community. There's more and more people coming in every week, figuring out where you can add value, and it's a welcoming community. So sharing this out and trying to absorb other teams and projects and people into this. Obviously, there's so much going on that there's lack of resources, and we need more and more help. And DXdao, like lots of DAOs, has lots of capital and money to spend, and can spend that for those resources. So, this is a similar situation that many DAOs are facing, but it's exciting to see and hear about all these different things that are happening. So,
I want to say that it seems like a decent pattern that has been happening is that someone kind of criticizes like something that DXdao has done, and I think like we're very good at like taking criticism and working with it and basically inviting the people to come and showcase their thoughts. And this is a great way to actually onboard people. So if people are, I don't know, whining or bitching on Telegram or something, I would say like just try to ask them for more feedback and maybe invite them to one of the calls to voice their opinions. We had quite a bit of success with people who came either part-time or full-time from kind of sort of criticizing DXdao or its actions.
Yeah, so I think like we already have one Chris P, but I think there's an opportunity to have another Chris P join DXdao and start contributing and working for DXdao, who that may be a good target for you, Nylon.
I didn't understand that.
There's a Chris P. There's another Chris P. that is very good at complaining, and he might be a good person to help contribute to DXdao.
All right. Yeah, I thought there was another Chris Powers, and yeah. No.
Yeah, same. I thought the same.
Anyway,
there's only one Powers.
Yeah, in a white room somewhere, undisclosed location.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks everyone for attending, and great meeting, and have a great Thursday.
All right.
Thanks everyone.